Hey everybody, welcome to Valentine TV. This is the second break, and I'm doing my reaction is coming from Tisa Tales, of course, outside the courthouse at the Diddy trial. Um, y'all please, sorry about that. Y'all please hit the subscribe button and hit that like button. And as you see, I have my Cash App up if you'd like to donate anything to the Valentine TV channel. So we're gonna get right into it, okay? All right, cause it's good. It's good. It's better than I expected. So let's go.
We are live outside the Sean Diddy Combs trial. There has been, I had to sneak and give y'all some updates. There has been a shocking update in the stand. If you guys don't know, Cassie is still on the stand. But the thing is, it is the cross direct. What is that? The prosecution already had her up there for 2 days and established her story. They did an amazing job. But Diddy's team has now sunk their claws into Cassie. And when I tell you there is a disturbing twist of events, we have to talk about. On top of that, the prosecution was fighting tooth and nail to make sure that text messages got left out. They put these messages up on the big screen and had Cassie read them out. And the things these messages said, y'all, I was sitting there like, oh, this cannot be good. But then the other half of me, the part that's a woman first, said, but hold up, because we got to talk about this. You guys, let's get into this. So much stuff happened in court, and your girl, these earrings are bothering me, but they look better in real life. But your girl had to deliver. Okay, the first thing, right? The first thing that we need to talk about is Cassie taking the stand. Now, what was the mood in there, okay? Diddy turned around and looked at me nice, not nice, twice. Mark Agnifilio, his hair looks better today, but it's still giving Chicken Little. Stuart Mouse, right? But it looks a lot better. The kids came in late. Diddy came in. I will say one thing. Diddy came in a tan sweater. Yesterday he had a butter yellow sweater. If y'all shop at Ally, you know the butter yellow I'm talking about. Today he came in a tan sweater. I do have to say, I think Diddy is a cool season. At the very least, I believe he is a bright, clear spring. He came in that tan sweater, and it really didn't do anything for him. It enhanced the discoloration. It enhanced the sallowness. That tan is not his color. He needs to move on because, again, it's giving Bram Stoker Dracula, but not in the way of you look frail, which he's trying to look and small. No, you just look sick. And that enhances the whole weirdo, pervy thing, right? So that's the first thing. Tan is not Diddy's color. He is a cool season. At the very least, maybe he is neutral, leaning too warm, but he is definitely, like maybe even a clear spring. But he needs to leave that tan alone, baby. You are not a muted autumn. You are not a deep autumn. Let me watch where I'm sitting. As you can see, the rain is gone, so y'all don't have to see me fight my umbrella. Okay, so getting off, right? I took a bunch of notes. I'm giving y'all a quick update. For those that don't want something longer, I'll be live later on tonight when I leave the courthouse, immediately for a long live outside the courthouse, first impressions, and then we'll do another live later on. I will say one thing. Shout out to Misa Hilton. I don't know what's going on, but I think the people around Diddy are realizing this mofo is probably going to jail. Misa did an interview and said, well, guess what? I'm not here to support Diddy. I'm here to support my son. Hey, how are you? I'm here to support my son, Justin. And that's it. And that's the way it should be.
And I
That's the way it should
understand
be.
that.
You cannot fault a mother's love.
I understand that because I would do the same. I would do the same thing if I was in that position, but I would also be trying to talk my son not to even go. That's my honest opinion.
All we got to do is fault somebody standing by a mountain, Okay, so again, let's get into this, right? Listen, again, I'm just going through my notes really quick. Shocking testimony. Let me give a little teaser of what they had Cassie read up while her husband was in court. Again, I think this was to humiliate Cassie. I really do, because I don't think that it really showed, but it didn't. Cassie said, I'm thinking about, can I say this without getting demonetized? Let me try to walk around this. She said, I'm thinking about licking those D's from the balls to the T.I.
I didn't know the
feeling it
husband
touched
was in
the
there.
back of my throat. This is what she was telling Diddy when she was emailing him about fantasizing about the freak off. All right. I have more texts. They are crazy, but then I also give you the positions, right?
I think they picked those out to humiliate her. You know what I'm saying? To make her feel humiliated or make her not really want to say it out loud. And but I'm sure. I mean, I'm absolutely in my head sure that Cassie and her husband over these years then talked about this stuff, and then when the closer time came for the court trial, I'm sure Cassie got her husband ready and said, "Look, they gonna say this, they gonna say that, blah, 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 blah." Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Don't shadow ban me on YouTube. Said, "Hey Tisa, thanks for the cover. You go, girl. You welcome." And actually, listen, uh, who said? Who is that saying lies? Somebody said, "Why is Cassie laughing on the stand?" Um, Cassie, see, this is what I mean about like sometimes I believe that might be misinformation. Cassie was not laughing on the stand. When she first took the stand, she walked in, she had on, she was fitted, she was dressed in a power move. It looked like she had on some type of like Dior suit. I don't know. It was a Dior suit, a blue button up to the top, a button fitted, button up to the top. She had on, the little pants skirt thing, right? She looked really, really good. She wasn't laughing on stand. When she came in, the prosecutor made like a
Okay.
joke or said something silly. This is before things had gotten heavy. This is before the prosecution. And Cassie was coming in with Alex, with her brother, and it was the very thing, okay? I know some people want to think you just come in and you glaring at the defense attorney, but the judge made like a light joke. Cassie politely laughed. So for people saying that Cassie
Oh
is
my
laughing
God.
on the
Yeah.
stand, that's a gross exaggeration. Again, she wasn't laughing on the stand. The prosecutor said, the defense attorney said, you're very beautiful, very charming. And this is before they started getting the questions. She was like, well, thank you. And then the whole courtroom laughing. Cassie just politely, again. But Cassie was not laughing on the stand. Anyway, y'all, listen, I also want to give a shout out to everybody. You guys, listen. Thank you. Oh, my God. Oopsie. Say hi, Tisa, for all your hard work. Oh, thank you. Lunch is on me. You get to join CNN. Yo, I think next week I'm going to start networking. You might see your girl giving commentary. I see Nancy Grace's producers out here. You know I'm a big fan of Nancy Grace. I'm
Yeah.
about to inbox her and she's like, hello, Miss
That's
Grace. My
true.
name is Tisa. I'm CNN. I've been networking. Y'all don't care. Let me get to this, right? I'm like talking to y'all while we'll FaceTime. Like, I've been networking. I've been doing my own thing. Also, Scorpio Brown Sugar, thank you so much for the super chat. You guys, listen, y'all know I came down there. Here, y'all know that I did it on my own dime. You guys, let me just say thank you for the super chats. I love the super chats. And as long as I get a super chat, I don't care what's going on. I'm reading it on screen. Sorry, y'all. That is the price of admission. I got to show love to the people that show me love.
That is exactly right. Because I've seen people say, uh, just stick to the story. Stick to the story. You gotta thank the people that sending super chats and stuff like that. You have to. I mean, that's only my gosh, people. Patience. Patience is the key. Trying to tell you. And for anybody coming in, please, if you haven't, hit the subscribe button and also hit that like button, please. And if you feel like donating to the Valentine TV, um, I put my cash app right on the screen this time. Okay, thank you so much, and continue on.
Love. But now let me show love to
Alright.
the people that are actually in here. But thank you so much for helping me fund this, okay? Y'all always call me broke. And thank you for treating me like that and actually funding me. I appreciate all the support. So listen, here's what happened, right? Um, she also said, I can't wait to have my legs cocked back, but time my head
I'm
to
sorry.
feel that D
Y'all can.
tease my P
Sorry.
raw. Yeah. And they made her read it out. And the funny thing is, when she was reading it out, I feel like Diddy had a smirk on his face. And when she was reading this out, with nobody giggling, I feel like Diddy had a smirk on
He
his face.
probably did.
Again,
Because
maybe it's just me, but this does seem like this is new trauma. It does seem like it is re traumatizing. And I find that very, very odd. Okay. So listen, let me get to my notes really quick. Hold on, y'all. Let's get to the notes. I'm here. Okay.
I think
So
she
the
may have
defense
to go to
started
therapy
off.
after this again.
Again, this was
I think she
shocking.
may
I
have
gotta
to.
stop. I gotta start from the beginning, okay? Because this is kind of shocking, very disturbing. You tell me. Let me tell y'all what happened, and then y'all tell me in the comments. I'll hang out right and read the comments, what y'all really think, right? Listen, Mark Agnifilio stood up and he was begging the judge to let them ambush the defense, Cassie and other people on cross-examine. That's basically what he was doing, right? Maureen Comey jumps up. She is ready to go. Yana, no, she is ready to go. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. She's ready to go. Mark Agnifilio is like, yo, these verbiage, this stuff, this vulgar stuff, it's language. That's what people use to express themselves. And, he's trying to normalize it, right? He said, Your Honor, there's going to be text. The judge was like, did you know that these text messages were sexual? Mark says, yes, but it's part of the proof. The judge asks, listen, I'm telling you to redact the really, really nasty stuff. Are you going to comply or not? Mark is like him and him, right? I will say one thing. Diddy's team was bumbling and fumbling. One thing I can say, the prosecution's testimony, questioning of Cassie, what's so good yesterday, Diddy's team, and I don't care what y'all read anywhere else, Diddy's team, because I was in the courtroom, was fumbling and bumbling. You could tell that they were not prepared at all to cross-examine Cassie, and that the plan they were going to use to cross-examine Cassie, it fell apart. It fell apart thanks to.
I am so glad Tisa was in it during courtroom. That's why I am following her updates because Tisa is in it. I mean, I'm not. Yes, and she's yes. All right, let's go.
Questioning of Cassie. What's so good yesterday? Diddy's team, and I don't care what y'all read anywhere else. Diddy's team, because I was in the courtroom, was fumbling and bumbling. You could tell that they were not prepared at all to cross-examine Cassie, and that the plan they were going to use to cross-examine Cassie, it fell apart. It fell apart thanks to the prosecution. Okay. Yes, I was blushing it up. And you know how it is when you put blush on and the bathroom light is dim. I might have overdid it a little bit, but you know what? I prefer to think I look fresh faced, like a little cherub. Nicola, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that, Mama. Also, Miss B2B Real said, thank you for the best news. Be careful, please. I will. Okay, so listen. So Mark Agnifilio is bumbling and fumbling. I will say one thing. Mark Agnifilio's wife was in the stands watching all of it. I think she's the real brains behind that law firm, right? She did not look impressed with Mark's the way he was handling it. And get this, the judge took a 10-minute recess and she ran up to where the well is. That separates where we sit from the actual courtroom. She ran up to the well and she was literally advising the whole defense team on what to do. Had her notes out, do this, do that. Mark was not alone. The rest of the defense team came. They were all listening to her like, okay. Literally, she is the brains out of this. And I would say Diddy should have hired her, but she is busy defending the cutie patootie we know as Luigi Mangione, right? Yeah. Nacy, thank you so much for the super chat. You said keep up the good content. So she is busy representing cutie patootie Luigi Mangione. Okay, so let's see. So then Mark Agnifilio gets caught in one of his many moves. Thanks for all your hard work, Miss Tisa. You're welcome. So Mark Agnifilio gets caught in one of his Mark Agnifilio lies. Okay, Mark Agnifilio goes on to say that he talked to the defense because they're arguing over whether some evidence can be admitted. He said, I already talked to Mark Agnifilio, Yana. I was like, Yana, we talked to prosecution. No. Prosecution said there would be no problem. We told them. So the judge was like, wait, but did you tell them it was going to be explicit sexual messages in favor? And if you did, you told them they agreed to it? Because if the prosecution agreed to it, then we can just wrap this up now. So Mark Agnifilio was like, yes, Yana, I believe we did. I have to check, Yana, but I believe we agreed to it. And I was like, here go another Mark Agnifilio tall tales. You got to check everything that man says. So after that, Maureen Comey jumps up and she was like, she is a beast. She is going to be running Southern District in New York in a few years because she is so So good. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Victoria Anderson. Oh my God, thank you for becoming a member and for that generous super chat. And Trixie Box, thank you so much for the super chat. All right. And you guys, y'all better start thanking people that give me super chats too, because that's how I keep doing this. I'm just
Thank
saying.
y'all.
I'm just saying. So anyway, listen. So then Maureen Comey jumps up and she's like, Your Honor, I need to set the record straight on this, right? She says we have 2 phone calls that were recorded. We have a bunch of emails that we have, and we have notes on any conversations we had on top of all those recordings.
Yeah.
And there is nothing in any correspondence at all to show that he told us about the the sexual innuendo, or to say that we even agreed to it. So Mark Agnifilo got caught in another Mark Agnifilo tall tale. It was very embarrassing to Diddy's team, and it looks super, super sloppy. Liz King said, I had surgery yesterday. Woohoo! You guys, let's send some healing energy out to Liz. And you said, and I'm so glad that when I do wake up, I have you to thank you so much, listening you healing, positive, regenerative energy. Santochi Ibaka said, You're doing an amazing job. Thank you. I hope I pronounced Santosia. Thank you so much. And Tawana Singleton said, Thanks, Tisa. Thank you, Tawana. Yasmin Jones said, Be safe. Thanks for your hard work. Thank you, Yasmin. And Lakeisha Freeman said, Tisa, you better network, girl. We're going to see you on TV. I've been watching you since your avatar. This is the first super chat I've ever sent in my life. Yes. And we are all so proud of you. Oh, Lakeisha, thank you. I really appreciate that. So anyway, so the judge said, Is this true? Mark, like, yeah, no, I would have to check. So the judge was like, Listen, we can kill off this because I already agree. I already ruled on this and said it was a no. And I said things would have to be redacted. I also said that why didn't you have things on the 27th? Because this is exactly what we wanted to avoid, right? Now, and again, around that time, I literally made notes. Here's my notes. If you can see, Maureen Comey is whooping his ass. Diddy is pissed. He is pissed. He is looking, and I know why he's pissed, right? You did not spend $10 million for these messy, half-ass mistakes when your whole life is on the line. Literally. The judge says, I've already made my ruling. He said there's no basis to admit these crazy messages that you want. There is no issue here. Actual examination is not impaired, so you don't even need to have all that nasty stuff in there. And he said the prohibitive value is 0. Prohibitive value is like, you want to balance fairness, right? Like, if I put this in this, will they give the defense a fair shake, or will give the prosecution a fair shake? You always want to, since the prosecution has the responsibility to prove, you always want to make sure you give the defense more leeway. You know what I'm saying? That's prohibitive value. Liz Shields says, You're doing a fabulous job. Thank you, Liz. And Essence Tender One said, You're doing a great job. Love your commentary. Thank you. And thank you so much, Liz. And Yana Artist 77 said, Amazing job, Tisa. Thank y'all so much. And thank y'all for buying me lunch. I appreciate y'all. Let me give you a little shimmy. Anyway, right? Let's get into this. I get back to the courtroom, and I want to get through all my notes. And I guarantee, turn your notifications on. I'm giving y'all details. I realize being in court, even though, there's people that I trust to actually read. I don't know them personally, but I think they get good coverage. But I will say something. Every person that's in the courtroom is going to have a different takeaway. It's like letting people eavesdrop on the conversation. You bring your biases, you bring your perspective, you bring your knowledge.
I'm gonna tell you, because I was watching somebody. So I always watch Tisa, of course, but I was watching somebody else like last night, and it was different. It was totally different. I was like, wait, this happened like da 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 da. I mean, it was just different, y'all. And I know y'all see me looking around at the clock and all that, but yeah, my mom's nurse is coming in a little bit, so I'm rushing, sort of rushing.
Ruled on this. What are we doing now? If there's any issue, then you need to speak now. Marie Comey, Tonya Kitchen, thank you so much for the super chat. Maureen Comey, that's the head prosecutor, is doing her thing. I got to find the blonde-headed girl's name. I keep forgetting it, but she's actually doing a great job too. Maureen Comey is like, literally, she already know that Mark Agnifilio's done. She's like, you know what? Your Honor, absolutely. I completely agree with you, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Speak truth to power. She is going in.
Right.
I said, I know Mark Garagos regrets calling them a six pack of white women.
Oh
Those six
Lord, you
pack of
know he
white women
does.
is whooping your ASS, Mark Garagos, Diddy, and Mark Agnafilio. Miss
Let me
Prissy,
see,
oh my
y'all.
God, thank you for the super. You said, let's go, gorgeous. Thank you for the generous super chat.
Can
Okay,
y'all
so
please
so
thumbs
you
up
guys,
the
if you guys can hit the
live,
like button, turn your
please?
notifications on sub.
And ain't
I'm really
nothing
trying to
but this
grow
right.
off of this. I think next week I'm going to have some really good things in store, and this weekend too. Don't forget, probably Saturday, maybe Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to do a live Q&A.
I don't think I can get super
I'm gonna
chats
do
until I get
sorry
to
guys.
a
I'm gonna do
thousand
a live Q
subscribers.
and A when
So
I'll let
that's
y'all
what.
call in, or I'll just stay reading the chat, and I'll let y'all call in, and we can actually talk about what's going.
Listen, I don't think I can. Well, I can't do super chats and stuff until I get 1,000 subscribers. That's why I have my Cash App up. So if anybody would like to bless me, or Valentine TV, of course. Um, let me go ahead with
Going on. We can talk about what's going on with the Diddy trial, and you can ask me every single question you want, no matter how petty, how messy, or even honestly how technical. Because I'll dive into the law. We can start talking about federal rules and civil procedure and everything else. Junkin Mama, thank you so much. You said, Tisa, you were on fire. Thank you. And Let's Talk TV said D-Rock was Biggie's friend. How can he be working for Diddy? He is. He's Diddy's chief of security, and it sounds like he's actually Diddy's co-conspirator, because a lot of these things, when Cassie was held without her will and she couldn't leave, D-Rock was right in the middle of it. And D-Rock is not testifying against Diddy. He is testifying. Woo woo. That's the sound of the police. He's testifying. If he's not testifying against Diddy, then he is definitely a co-conspirator. Jay and his name been all up and down there. Jada, Jim, and I. Oh, Gemini, twin. Where have you been? What's up? Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so to get back into it, right? Let's see. Cassie's lawyer, Douglas Wigler, jumps up. He's like, Your Honor, may I say something? I have some needs, right? He's like, okay, approach the bitch. Cassie's lawyer is like, if there's any discussion on what can be added or not, I need to be in that huddle. He said, listen, I represent, the government represents the people. I represent Cassie. I need to be involved in anything. And Mark Agnavilio has a responsibility to tell me directly. Ain't no, why aren't you telling me this directly, right? And he said he has a responsibility to share. And also, he said, I'm going to be involved in what the definition of intimate in nature and innuendo covered by the rule, right? So Mark is still arguing state of mind messages. The judge stands firm in his ruling. Listen, he said that they have the burden of proving why they need them prior. Okay, so also here's a little dirty trick. The defense dumped 400 items. 400 items. They said 400 items. Some of these items are 10 pages, 10 pages, 20 pages. Some of these items are huge. They jumped 400 items with long pages on the prosecution last night for them to look through. Again, this is a trial by ambush. Listen, it shows that they have bad faith, right? You can't say that you only have 4 articles at 27th and then you jump 400 items the day before, the night before, right? You can't say you didn't know, right? There's
right.
no way they
Go
can
ahead.
resolve 40 pages in any type of
That is
time.
crazy.
40 exhibits, I'm not pages, but 40 exhibits, some of them are 10, 20 pages long. It's bad faith, all right? And they also said that they're only going to, out of those 400, they're probably going to use 10 or 20. And here's the thing, they were complaining about this, but you're the ones that asked for a speedy trial. You're the one that asked for a speedy trial.
Yeah,
So since
boy,
that is, you
dude.
better act like this is what you got, right? Again, I put in caps, they are not prepared to cross-examine Cassie in any way. All right. Listen, Marines said there's still 200 exhibits they need to make an objection. There's going to be a lot of sidebars resolved. You know, Mark Agnafilio stood up again, Yana, and then Judge Aaron was like, "I thought you said you was going to resolve this for me. Remember yesterday you stood up and said, don't worry about it. I'm going to resolve it. You got until the end of lunchtime to resolve it. If not, that is on you." Listen. So what happened? So Cassie comes in. She's wearing a little black skirt, pantsuit, YSL, Christian Dior, looks like something like that.
Yes.
Anyway, I said, look at you giving low-key multimillionaire, because that's what you are, thanks to Diddy. Look at you giving low-key multimillionaire. You better work, right? You better work. Really quick, let me just get to this. I'm going to give a shout out to Goldie526. Thank you so much for the super chat. Also, I want to give a shout out to Patricia L. What's up? Thank you for being a member for 37 months. You say keep up the great job.
Okay,
Thank you
one
so much,
second,
Patricia.
y'all.
I
I can
appreciate
skip
y'all.
a little.
So anyway,
Okay.
Cassie, so listen, they're trying to establish that Cassie had an intense, loving relationship with Diddy, right? The guy, they kept saying, you know, a version of him. You know, a version of him that no one saw. Hey, Kim, woo, is that Gemini or Libra? I think that's Libra. Or is that Gemini? Pisces. What's up, Kim? What's up, Pisces, Kim? So anyway, I think that, what's that? Just a YouTuber. Just a YouTuber. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I'm doing a live stream right now. Oh, it's okay. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's cool, but no, thank you so much for the super chat. The defense is jumping up every 2 seconds.
All right.
Saying, I'm sorry, the prosecution is jumping up every 2 seconds saying, we object, right? The defense is doubling. Yeah, it does. So they still make Cassie retext where Diddy says, I'm a lucky man. Cassie says, I'm a lucky woman. I'll fly wherever you want me, right? Now, my notes were, how does this prove everything? The prosecution objects to half the messages, saying it's hearsay, they have to authenticate, redacted. The defense is still stubborn, right? They show that Cassie emailed Diddy and said, you hungry, Pop? Let me know. Diddy was like, no, I'm cool. And she was like, all right, no problem, right? Now, they keep on reading a bunch of mundane messages. And it just shows sloppy work. Messages are from 2008, 2009, right? There's one where I think Diddy wrote, I love you so much it consumes my life, but you're going to have to work so hard to be with me, at least 4 times more than I'm going to work. Now, I'm ready from my mind because, baby, game recognizes game. You're already trying to, Miss Prissy, thank you so much for becoming a member. And let's see, who else did I miss? Hold on, there's one more super chat I missed. I just want to read this. Oh, Katie Aldana, you said, God bless you, Tisa. Thank y'all. So listen, y'all so hit the like button if y'all can. They feel like that's the dynamic of the relationship. That's what they signed up to. POW, thank you so much for the super chat. And also, Miss Parker, thank you for becoming a Tattletales. Also, G. Bangura.
Sorry, y'all.
But again, when you're on the stand, you forget about all that, you know? So she was just answering honestly. I will say Cassie is answering honestly, open-ended. She's not trying to create a narrative. She's just saying how it is. Lindy Lou, thank you so much for joining the Tattletales family. I appreciate you. Also, I want to give a shout out to who else? Hello. I think everybody can establish that when you are first in a relationship and you're enamored and you want to lock it in, you say a lot of stuff. You might even agree to a lot of stuff that you really don't believe, if that makes any sense. Like you really don't, if not you don't believe it, you're not going to follow through on it. It's like women, y'all know what I'm saying, and probably men too. It's like you are still with that person's representative and you're still trying to make them happy. Cassie, there was a power imbalance. She couldn't assert authority. I honestly think at that time, Diddy low-key was grooming her to use her body as the only leverage and chip that she had to get his attention and to be treated with respect. I also do want to say that it's like, okay, you're showing a bunch of messages from 2009, but what was going on in 2011, 2012? Exactly. Cassie Spell said they're acting like Cassie knew what to say to appease Diddy and that she deserved all this. Absolutely not. Exactly. Woman to woman, you get it. Ty the Gemini twin said, me and my coworker Lauren are watching you from our office at work. What's up? Right. So anyway, thank y'all so much, y'all. So where was I? Oh, so then listen. Hey, how are you? How you doing today?
I'm skipping.
Yeah. I'm getting, hold on, I'm gonna get back on subject really quick, but let me just say thank you to Angie Carr. So much for the super chat. I appreciate you. And Jen said, thank you so much for being there and giving us the scoop. Thank you so much, Jim. And Black Sheep 19 said, so anyway, Cassie Cassie did the freak offs, but that's because she loves Sean. And how hard is it to think for someone to be a sex trafficking victim, for someone to be a prostitute, for someone to be a sex worker that has a boss?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't people understand there has to be some type of love? You got to love the person. You got to want to be with the person, you know? And it's weird that people are acting like she was in the corner, like chained up. It's like there's a reason why they call it sex trafficking, because when the doors open, the mental chains are still there. Also, Leslie Nee said, "My love, you're doing the Lord's work. Thank you so much." Oh, you're welcome. Oh, thank you, B. Said, tap the screen to like this live. Yeah, tap the screen if you want to like this live. So anyway, Cassie, they also say that Cassie wanted a baby. Oh, this is T. They said Cassie actually wanted a baby with Diddy. She was jealous after the last one, they said, right? And they also said that Diddy multiple times would not allow her to carry his baby, even though she was allegedly pregnant sometimes. And Diddy did horrible things. So there was multiple times that he made her get rid of the whatever. Listen. So Cassie, text messages, turn the volume up, or if you're at work, turn closed captions on because your boss can't hear this. Vanessa said, Tisa, you got these other YouTubers, you're working their broadcast. Well, anyway, Trisha H said, whoop, glad to see your face. What's up, Trisha? Thank you so much. And also, Vanessa, thank you so much. So listen, and thank you for the shout out. So anyway, she said, so Cassie sent Diddy a message saying, I can't wait. No, Diddy said, I can't wait to watch. And Diddy said, I wanted to be uncontrollable. And Cassie was like, I'm ready for some big black D's. She said, I can't wait to have my legs cocked back behind my head. Shout out to Miss Pleasant, the pop show. Anyway, he said, I made a note. I wasn't thinking about her in this moment. I can't wait to have my legs cocked back behind my head to feel D, tease my P, raw. Then, again, the judge takes a 10-minute break. Mark's wife comes up to the defense thing and offers advice for questioning and coaching the whole team. Again, she is clearly the brains. Behind every good man, competent man, is a brilliant woman. Anyway, Brian at this point still stays by Diddy. The defense team seems to be excluding Westmoreland, or maybe she just wants to stay in the cut. Mark goes over and huddles with Diddy and Brian. So then there's a text messages where Cassie says, I can't wait either. And then it says, I'm thinking about licking. She sent him a message saying, I'm thinking about licking those D's from the B balls to the top and feeling it touch the back of my throat, right? Then she said, for the freak off, I'm nervous. She said, I'm super, super nervous. Now, here's an interesting thing. I know the timestamps are out of order. They're trying to make it seem like this was a pattern. But all of these messages all came in on the same day. So I was like, okay, like you're gonna have to do a little bit better. It's not hitting the way you think it is. It's still not. Nicole said, thanks for the fabulous reporting. Thank you for the super chat, right? She also said, listen, she sent a message on the same day saying, I'm going to go to Dwayne Reed. I'm getting candles. She was going to set up the room for the freak off. And I said, okay, but what is this proving? Because here's the thing. These messages were all from the same day, and they were all from a freak off. So it's like you might have been down with the issue giggles in the beginning, but she said it turned into something of violence and slavery. And here's the thing. I do not think that Cassie realized she was getting some old Detroit pimp grooming on her. Like, this is straight up Pimp 101, and she didn't even realize what was going on. All that mess Diddy was saying to her, it was just to get her where he wanted. Terry Thomas, thank you so much for the super chat.
Y'all, please hit that subscribe button and hit the like button as you come in, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. Listen. So anyway, Cassie then they made Cassie read this email. She said, I want to feel safe letting go. I like you. I want that. I need to feel safe. The only person that will have that will see my aggressive side of me will be my husband. That my only man. I said this last time. I said that last time I thought it was a mistake. I felt dirty and grimy. I get nervous that I'm just the person who you get your fantasies off with and not anyone, right? And the defense was like, so you feel like you'd never be a full girlfriend? I said, did you read the message? I just said that it made me feel grimy, dirty. I feel like I'm your plaything. I feel like you're keeping me at a point that I don't understand.
Right.
And they're just like, so you're mad you couldn't be his girlfriend? Are y'all done? Like, again, I feel like there's going to be some hardcore people that just don't understand consent that's going to be doing this mess, you know? Anyway, what's going on? Hold on. Tracy K. Richardson, thank you so much for the super chat. What's going on? Hold on. It's like some drama over there. People are about to fight. Yes, I was that person in high school that was always looking. If I heard there was a fight, I was the first one to run out of class and go see what was going on.
That's right. But everything turned out all right. But anyway, y'all, yeah, please hit that subscribe button. I need the subscribers, please.
Okay, I definitely will. Okay.
And if you've already subscribed, please hit that like button.
Absolutely gorgeous. She missed her. She looked really, really good. So, also, where am I? Sorry. Oh, so they're trying to do this, but there was a hardcore power imbalance, right? Diddy had money and power and control over her career. He was also abusing her at this point, right? Cassie, all she had was her body, and even then, that wasn't enough to stop the beatings. They brought up the fact that Diddy bought Cassie, Dallas Austin, and Britney Spears to Cassie's 21st birthday party. And they're like, you had a successful album. You were modeling. You're beautiful and charming. And that's when Cassie, hey, what's up? How you doing? Thank you. And that's when Cassie was like, she literally said thank you, because we all giggle when they're like, Cassie's so beautiful and so charming. And she is. She is. I see why every man around her fell in love, because yes, sir. Justin Clark, thank you so much for the super chat. I already thanked you, but let me thank you again. Also, I'm gonna give a shout out to
I'm gonna tell y'all know when we were saying like well, not me, but people saying that Cassie's music, why she ain't put out, I ain't heard none of her music and all of that kind of stuff. Did y'all remember the testimony from yesterday when she testified that she had all them bumps and sores in her mouth, and she kept getting fat lips, black eyes, getting beat up, UTIs, all that stuff, painful, bloody down there and all of that. But she could, how you gonna make an album? You got all them sores and stuff in your mouth, and I just thought of that just now. It's like, how you expect me to put out an album? You know what I'm saying? She spent most of the time in a darn getting ready for a freak off and healing from a freak off.
I want to give a shout out to Tech Geek Dame. Thank you so much for the super chat as well. So Folks Films TV Media. Also Vita O, thank you so much for the super chat. Take recklessly and abandon. It's crazy to me. Sorry guys, long night. It is crazy to me, and I mean crazy to me, that people think that because I allow you, if I give you access to my bank account and you spend every dollar and leave me homeless, I get people being like, that's your own stupidness. Who told you to give them your card? But where's the moral obligation for the other person being an absolute piece of shit and a moral person? When as a society are we going to start saying you cannot treat others like that? I don't care if they let you do it. You have no right to do it. And that's where the federal government comes in. I don't care if an individual lets you treat somebody like that. You have no right to treat someone. Everybody want to talk about accountability and standing up and this and that when it is the victim. But when are we going to start holding the predators accountable? Because you need to take personal responsibility too. And part of treating somebody like a rag doll is that when they say, I don't want it, you might be held accountable and you might be sued. And if you don't want to be sued, stop treating people like they are party favors and disposable. Baby, you stand up and be accountable, because that's what happened. So anyway, Patty Fucci, thank you so much for the super chat. But honestly, I'm getting sick of this. It's something sick in society that we say because somebody said you could do it, it's okay to do it. It is not. You have to have boundaries on your own self. And if you don't want to have boundaries, then you have to be prepared that somebody might come back and sue you and say that you were a monster. And you have to be prepared for the fact that I will be out here in court online saying you were an MF monster, and baby, you're going to pay for it. S. Hill and Associates LLC, thank you so much for the super chat. And also, RNS Records, thank you for the super chat. And also, Stephanie Shalmengo said, Tisa, why hasn't the prosecution mentioned her contract and the control she had over her?
Right.
Good point. Ray, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, tell me your man. Oh, B deleted that, so whatever it was. Let me just move on. Thank you so much, B. Why hasn't the prosecution mentioned her contract and the control you had on her? I actually think that is a very, very good question. Why haven't they mentioned that? But I also think that they might not have mentioned that for a few reasons. They're not done. So it's direct, then it's cross-examined.
Right.
Then it's direct, it's cross-examined, and then, and only then, do you get to then and only then do you get to do a redirect. I feel like they left a few guns in the holster, a few bullets in the holster, if you know what I'm saying, you know. They left a few things in the holster. KG said the defense should point out that Cassie was close to the age that Diddy's daughters are right now when they started dating.
Thank you.
Y'all know me. Whether it's a man or woman, if we were talking about a 19 or 21-year-old boy, I would be saying the same thing.
Exactly.
This is the risk you take when you date much younger. We are going to look at it as you were exploiting them. Maybe it is a loving relationship, but you better hope they say that to the grave, because if they ever say anything, I'll be like, yeah, I believe it. So at the end of the day, these people that want to treat people like ragdolls, get involved in risky behavior, make sure that the other person really loves you and is actually consenting. These people that want to get involved with younger people, do what you want, as long as it is respect, it's not predatory. But it is part of the rules of engagement that they turn around and say you did something to them. We are going to look at it. You will be guilty until you are proven innocent, and we are going to side-eye you and figure out what happened. Peach Gems, thank you so much for the super chat. And
look, y'all. Okay, if y'all want to see the rest of Tisa's courthouse live, y'all, it's YouTube. On Tisa says on YouTube right now. Y'all please hit that subscribe, like button. And if you feel like donating to Valentine TV, please do so. I will appreciate it so very much. So I'm gonna leave it right here, and I will talk to y'all later, okay? Thank y'all for joining the live. My live anyway. Thank you.